Hey, how's it going? Today I wanted to talk about a man that I'm sure that we all know, Mahatma Gandhi, a man whose philosophy of nonviolence and relentless pursuit of justice sparked a revolution and even inspired millions and countless people around the world. So I want us to talk about this particular man, Gandhi, a man behind a huge movement, and see what we can learn from his life. And I will try to pick up some good things or things that I think that can help us live a flourishing life based on his life. And I hope that you come along this journey and make sure that you come out learning one or two things. Now, I do want you to imagine a man that was so steadfast in his belief that he could lead a nation to independence without firing a single shot. This was Mahatma Gandhi. He's a figure of peace whose life was a testament to the power of nonviolence resistance. And so today we want to look at his life and see if we can uncover the psychological resilience behind his peaceful rebellion. And so I hope you enjoy this content. First, I do want to talk about how he embraced nonviolence. Gandhi's weapon of choice was ahimsa, or rather what is called nonviolence. It's kind of it wasn't just a strategy, but a way of life. His commitment to peaceful protest wasn't passive. It was kind of active, powerful, and even psychologically profound. It's a classic study in the power of moral conviction and how it can galvanize and even unify masses. Now, I do want to talk about strength in simplicity because this is something that we see in his life. Living simply, Gandhi was really a beacon of self-discipline. He was this self-discipline, I think it's a trait that really speaks to the concept of self-regulation in psychological terms, which sort of demonstrates that a simple life can be a profound statement against materialism and even the psychological trap of consumerism. Now, it's important to see how this man was living his life. He barely wore any decent clothes. He just had his wrap, his local Indian clothes, and that was it for him. But Gandhi's civil disobedience was a masterclass in psychological warfare. In fact, he understood the psyche of the oppressor and the oppressed. And as a result of that, he developed a movement that was an irresistible moral force. Now, he sort of leveraged what is known in social psychology as the consistency principle, where people kind of aim to be consistent with their values and beliefs. And he held a mirror to those who were acting against their own principle. And so you find that in some instances he wasn't eating as a way of actually trying to stay true to his beliefs, which I think is kind of fascinating. But I do think it's important that we talk about how he overcame some of the personal and political struggles, because as you would imagine, someone like this would have faced a lot of those, right? And so you find that every challenge that Gandhi faced was kind of met with an inner strength that kind of came from a deep place of spiritual and psychological grounding. In fact, he experienced moments of doubts and even personal loss, but he emerged each time with greater clarity and purpose, as some of the history books would say. But beyond just this, I think it's important to recognize his legacy of peaceful power, because Gandhi's legacy is really the embodiment of the idea that the strongest force, it's a consistent, peaceful presence, right? And so he inspired movements around the world, providing that psychological resilience, proving that he inspired movements around the world. And by doing that, he really proved that psychological resilience and nonviolence protests could indeed enact real change. And I think this is very important, because I find oftentimes most people engage in violent protests as a way of change and bringing about change. I don't believe that violent protest in itself can enact any real change, because you end up destroying systems that's been rebuilt, infrastructures that are there to help communities. But I do believe that nonviolent protest, which requires psychological resilience, is the most effective way of changing the world. And so you find that Gandhi's life story, I think, it's really a powerful narrative about the strengths the strength of peace over violence. In the midst of chaos or marginalization or things that you might be facing, how are you able to have peace over that rather than engaging in violence to get your voice to be heard, right? And so you find that his story, it's really a powerful story about the strength of peace over violence, the force of unity over division, and even the impact of steadfastness over force. And you find that his philosophy really teaches us about the profound impact of aligning actions with deeply held beliefs. And his legacy, I believe, continues to inspire peaceful resistance, and even civil rights movements worldwide. And if we can learn something from his life, I would say that if we can learn something from his, I would say it's the power of non-violent protest and our ability to have psychological resilience and peace within, despite the chaos around us. Because once you're able to hold on to your beliefs and your values, eventually the universe will give way to and make those things happen in your favor. Now, I hope that you've enjoyed this video, and I look forward to encouraging you on the next episode as we look at another great person that we could learn from his or her life and see how that will be a blessing for us. You take care, and it's been wonderful talking to you. Bye for now.